So the last part for today is church planting, Frankfurt, and you. How do you fit in? What does it look like being a part of a church planting team for 3 months? And obviously, your role is very specific. And let me just tell you, thank you that you would come to serve Europe. Thank you that you'd come to serve Germany. Thank you that you'd come and give up work and give up time and give up money and just to serve God in the nations. We are honored and we are blessed. And we bless you and honor you for your sacrifice to the Lord. A church planting team and a support role. What does that look like? Well, number one, you have to have the right expectations, correct? And the right expectation is, quite frankly, is when you're doing something grassroots in a pagan land, it can only go so fast as with God's grace and as God gives us wisdom and strategy and supernatural connection. So, you can take just a big burden off yourself, like we need to have X, Y, and Z done by the time we leave in 3 months. Because quite frankly, I'm just asking the Lord, more connections, more people, and I'm saying, God, we'd love to have our first public service before you leave. Now we will have public meetings, but our first public service as a church, as New Life Church, by the way, we've adopted that name, and that's another story for another day. New Life Church Germany, and so, anyways, how do you fit in? Well, first of all, it's very, very grassroots. It's all about relationships. It's all about connections, about meeting people. It's building trust. And so, just like I said in the previous lesson or the previous video, if they're suspicious and they think you're a sect, then you just can't come in and just say, hey, we're here. You got to earn trust. You got to earn the ability to, and through friendship and relationship. It's a lot of fun because what it simply means is be a light where you are, whatever you're doing, show the love of Jesus, and to be intentional about making relationships, be intentional about being a light, taking every opportunity that God gives you, and praying for those opportunities. So it's not pressure that you are the answer to birth this new church. You are, much like what we're doing, support. We're coming together. And we're saying, God, give us relationships. God, give us strategic contacts. This is how you pray. Strategic, divine contacts in Balkenheim, where you all are living. People who want to connect. People who are looking for something. A lot of people may have church background. They may be connected to the state church, but they may be looking for something more. And so we're really not asking them to join a church plant. We're asking them to join the body of Christ. And we're saying, join yourself to us. Let's, to borrow a very popular phrase, do life together, which is cool. But I mean, what does that mean sometimes? But in our context, it means we want to walk with Jesus. We want to walk together. We want to encourage one another. So doing life, we're inviting them into that process. Now, the language school plays a very key role in this. Number one, obviously you have a chance to learn German a little bit. Your expectations need to be there too. I said, to really learn German effectively, you need about 12 months. But you're going to do 1 month, could be a little bit longer. We'll see how that goes. But 1 month, and you're going to get a taste and see what it's like to learn another language in another culture. And so that'll honor them, that's a culture of honor, that'll honor them by showing that you're investing your time and laying down your right, because a lot of people in Frankfurt, quite frankly, speak okay English, but that's not their heart language. Their heart language is German. So the second thing about the language school is you're making contacts with people. You see, one of the most greatest opportunities that you're going to have is you're going to meet people. You're starting from the very beginning in language school, which means everybody else you're with in your language school, 3 different language schools you guys are going to, are all beginners. They're all there, fresh. Some of them are going to be students in university. Some of them are trying to find a job. They're going to be from different nation groups, different nationalities, different backgrounds. And you're just going to have an opportunity to make friends with them. And so over the course of those 3 months, our hope and our prayer is that you move from language school friendships, setting up coffee appointments after your language school, getting to know people, sharing your story, hearing their story first, and then sharing your story, inviting them into, be it game nights and having a party in one of your places and just hanging out, doing fun things. And then the next phase would be then actually maybe having a night where someone shares a devotional, a little bit of testimony, do some music, and invite people into it. It's a process, and we'll talk more about that as you come. But in general, what it looks like is it's all about relationship building with mission in mind. But here's the thing, don't make the person themselves the mission. Honor them and love them because they're a child of God, and yet they're not in relationship with him because of sin. And so you love them and honor them, and in the process of time they connect, and through belonging oftentimes people will come to the point of believing. And so we're going to plan also outreaches, what I would call net events, where we'll try to bring everything, maybe a big party outside in October. You just invite all the friends you've made and all our friends we made with the church plan, and just have a big party and just see what God does. So pray that God will give you context. What could it look like if each one of you just found one or two people that you built a solid relationship over 3 months and you poured your life into? And in that process, that person came to Christ. Or maybe 4 months after you left, they came to Christ, but it's because of the 2 months that you invested. So we could say we want 100 people come to Christ. That would be awesome. I can believe God for that. But I'd also be really, really happy if 1 or 2 people heard the gospel because you loved them. So take the pressure off. Let's have fun. Let's just integrate and find out what it looks like living in Germany. Make lots of friends, lots of contacts, set up coffee appointments, have dinner dates, throw parties, play games, invite people into that process so they can see the authenticity of your relationship with Jesus. That's what Frankfurt church planting and you can look like.